Did you ever see his animated series?
Gene Simmons animated series?
Yeah,
how did I miss that?
It was about a dad who was a rock star. And he had this green, I think he had green hair and all this stuff. Yeah,
No.
legitimately, they started a cartoon series that he produced. And it was about a rock star and his kid. And it was actually kind of, I thought it was a little bit, the animation was a little bit cheap, but it was still kind of fun. And I think that was, Gene had produced that thing.
I'm sure people probably are lined up at Gene's house trying to pitch him ideas to kind of be like, you want to invest in this rock star, make him in your liking, or not that I'm saying the guy with the green hair would be his liking, but I think when you're that powerful,
and he's you got to hand it to him. The guy has tried a lot of stuff. He had a magazine. He was in publishing for a while. He had that Gene Simmons Tongue magazine. He's done a lot of stuff. And when he did
how's the magazine industry doing right now?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. But my point is, he's tried a lot of stuff. Well, he's spread out into all kinds of things.
Invented water?
Could be.
Or is that because Gene is like a savant entrepreneur? Or is he just presented with some pretty cool ideas? I mean, I get, producing Black and Blue, starting his own record label and having, House of Lords and the former Giuffria guy, right? Wasn't that who that was? Like Simmons
Giuffria.
Records, right? Wasn't he part of House of Lords?
I thought so, yeah.
And I thought that was like one of the first bands that he signed. Where's House of Lords today? Call us up.
And you know who else he produced? I think he produced Keel.
I think
didn't he do that one too? He was one of his. He found Ron Keel.
But they weren't on his label. So I mean, that's the thing is how many artists were on the Simmons Records label. But then, I mean, didn't Gene put out like a rap album or something?
I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me though. That's my point. That he's just tried. See, I don't think and Paul Stanley doesn't seem to think that he is this genius marketing guy. I just think that he got he found a niche as a musician, made a ton of money, and he likes playing with it, and he likes trying things, and it's great.
I mean,
he's cool that way.
Isn't that kind of, if you're going to do things, why not start your own magazine, do this kind of stuff? I mean, it's kind of cool if it's making.
I love it. I think
it's turning your money into more money or something you can pass on to your kids or family or whatever. Like nobody's gonna. If it wasn't Gene doing all that, people wouldn't have a problem with it. But it's Gene, and he comes with a certain stigma, and he's the Kiss demon. Mm-hmm. I think that's what makes it kind of like, wait, what? But nobody's saying, hey, LeBron James, he's making pizzas at Blaze Pizza. He's like I think he's one of the like main investors or part of the investment group of Blaze Pizza. Anybody giving LeBron any crap about that? No. But if it's Gene, if Gene probably did invest in some restaurant,
Well, they have the Kiss Rock and Brews restaurants. You know about that, right?
No.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of them in the airports. I actually went to walked by one of them, and
That's
one
crazy.
was it Los Angeles, LAX. I was in. Saw
you're
one.
Like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, Rock and Brews is what it's called, and they've got a few of them out. Of course, they did the football league.
I know
they did football, and so pretty interesting. I don't know, man. I mean, good for. I actually kind of like watching it.
Well, I think it's good.
Fun.
Why not?
It's inspiring. So why not?
Hey.
And it's cool because, like I said, I don't think of him as this super genius. I think of him as kind of a just dude that has a bunch of money having fun with it, and I'm inspired by that because I don't see him as somebody that's in the stratosphere that I couldn't be like. He seems like an average guy that managed to get something to work early on in his life, and then he's been able to just capitalize on it in a big way.
Can't blame him for that.
No.
I mean, especially with his humble beginnings and all that.
When you start looking at those guys, how they started, I mean, Gene coming to the United States as a child, can't speak English.
Right.
His mom is a Holocaust survivor. Mm-hmm. His dad left them when he was very early. You saw the episode where they went back to Israel and he went to his dad's grave.
Yeah.
And you watch him just fall apart, start crying.
House of Jewels, right? You're talking about?
No, Family Jewels.
Family Jewels.
Yeah,
Wait.
yeah.
House of Lords.
Yeah, they took him back.
Family
Yeah,
Jewels.
right.
Got
They
it.
take him back
Ugh.
to Israel, and they go to
That's
his
right.
grave. And I remember watching him walking up with Shannon, and all of a sudden he just starts coming apart.
Right.
And you're like, whoa, dude.
Didn't his dad like leave him at 6
Yeah,
or something
he was a
like that?
child
Just
and-
disappeared, and that's why his mom came to the U.S. And, you know, and I
So fascinating, man.
And Paul's parents were what, German out of Berlin?
Yeah, they were also
Moved-
Holocaust survivors.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, again, going back to thinking about, you know, how bad we have it. You know, if you think we have it bad,
we have nothing to
we
complain
have
about.
nothing compared to that.
Nothing
So
to complain about.
for them to go do what they did, come to a new country, and be born here, kind of be, you know, trying to fitting in.
Yeah, and then Paul's born with that necrosis, whatever it's called,
the
where his
ear.
ears all deformed or non-existent.
Yeah.
He's never really clear. He says he was deaf, and in that ear, and it's never really clear, was he missing his eardrum, or was it just covered up, or what was the deal?
I don't know,
Because, I mean, if he really was, he could only hear out of the one ear,
Which makes it kind of crazy.
which
like,
also makes
and
it that much more
impressive.
intense. Interesting, and that he's this world famous singer, musician. He was in the Phantom of the Opera, you know, and who's a guy that only doesn't have stereo.
Yeah,
hearing.
I don't
So-
know through all the documentaries and interviews and things that I've seen him kind of talk about it, or his book. He talks
That's the
about
first
it.
time I ever knew about it. Was in his book.
Yeah, and that's the first time I was like, wait a minute. I always knew like he always had the hair, and I knew something. I thought he had a deformed ear, but not the whole like.
Just a little piece of cartilage, apparently, just bunched up, and that's all it was.
Yeah,
and so he's made fun of as a kid all the time. He's growing up. He's this little monster, and boy, oh my gosh, yeah, we could talk about him for a long time. I was such a fan of that guy. I still am.
Yeah,
love
no,
Paul
I think
Stanley, so.
I like Paul has been one of the guys that over the years has grown on me more. Gene, I
Paul was
definitely-
always my favorite when I was a kid.
I definitely like Gene's demon-esque. Like I said, I've been listening more and more to like newer Kiss stuff, and I mean, I was just listening to Creatures of the Night not too long ago, and Gene coming into his own again, like feeling like Gene. But I do think like in Revenge and Carnival of Souls, which I've listened to recently, is just, I mean, he is on good form. I mean, Gene,
He had some
Gene
great tunes
is-
in Lick It Up.
Yeah, that is true too.
I actually thought that was where Gene really came together.
Again, that was right after
Some
Creatures.
good stuff, man.
Gene sings really good on Lick It Up. I have listened to that as well. I think post Vinnie Vincent, not to bring Vinnie up in every episode.
Gosh, every time we have to
but-
talk about Vinny a little bit. That's hilarious.
But yeah, no, I remember we were talking about it. I'm like, man, you know, I'm gonna listen to some Lick It Up, you know, and I hear Gene, and Gene sounds great. Yeah. Gene sounds
and
great.
He's got some in his cool tunes.
Yeah, he's got some cool tunes.
I mean,
on that one.
yeah.
Or we'll cover that on our.
We'll have to do it
Vinny.
sometime. Thanks for watching this clip from our show. Please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and if you enjoyed this video, I bet you know somebody else who would enjoy it too, so share it with them. Go to our channel right now where you can watch full-length episodes, and thanks for stopping by.